right. This is a story about dog napping.
Actually, this is a story about how Bebe Emerman and photographer Clarence Gordon cover a story about dog napping. You will find that before the reporter can clearly communicate to you, the viewer, the reporter and the photographer have to clearly communicate with each other.
What I envision doing with this is getting a little bit of natural sound of the meeting. When we're done, we can go back to his house, get a shot of the other dog that's still left.
This is a situation different from any other in all of journalism, different from radio, different from newspapers. In television, there is always a crew. In this case, a reporter and a photographer. One is for the words and one for the pictures. You don't have a story if either is missing, and you don't have a good story if they don't work together.
Now, I could be completely wrong, but...
You could be, but then you could be completely right.
That's true. I would say I have a 50-50 chance.
From the information she collected at the 5:30 meeting the night before, Bebe has set up an interview at a condominium in Vinings. 3 people are there who suspect their dogs have been kidnapped. An Atlanta police detective is also there. He has been investigating the dog napping ring. He does not want his face shown. That presents a bit of a problem for Clarence and Bebe.
All right, well, the problem now we got to deal with is keeping Cox out of the shot.
Right.
Altogether.
Right. Well, you can shoot the back of his head, side of his face, you know, just so he's not really identifiable.
The crew resolves that problem and reassures the detective and then begins preparing for the interview. You don't just get out of the truck and begin the interview. There is equipment to arrange and lights. After a lengthy discussion prior to the interview, at which time everybody gets an idea of what's going to happen, then the interview begins.
I think we're ready to go. So why doesn't everybody just go ahead and I will be out of the, pretend I'm not here.
Bebe may want to be invisible to these people, but Clarence needs to see her. They are constantly talking with each other to make sure each is doing what the other wants. And then, after more than an hour, the interview, which probably will not take more than 30 seconds during the story, is over. Bebe and Clarence pack up and leave, all the while plotting their strategy for the rest of the story.
The thing is, we don't need that many shots of people walking their dogs. Just, you know, 1 or 2 would really do it.
Remember that while Bebe and the rest of the reporters are out there covering stories, the staff at the station is trying to put a newscast together. There is an ever so slight tether that binds crew to newsroom in the form of a two-way radio.
Go ahead, ENG4.
Yeah, Daz, he just wanted to let you know that we're done with the interviews and we're heading on to shoot a couple of general dog shots, and then we'll be in. We'll let you know when we're done.
Okay, thank you. KLE 457 clear.
G4 clear.
There is another interview at the house of the young couple. The companion of the dog feared stolen becomes the centerpiece of the interview, and Bebe runs into a problem of a slightly unusual nature.
I stepped in a red ant pile. I need combat pay for this. Ouch! Oh.
They still risen.
I wanted the exciting life of a television reporter.
And now Bebe and Clarence are ready to wrap up the story. But what looks so easy on the air comes only with practice.
Talking about, unfortunately, though, it's even though dog napping is a felony, dog nappers are almost impossible to catch. But sadly, even though dog napping is a felony, dog nappers are almost impossible to catch. But sadly enough, even though dog napping is considered to be a felony, dog nappers are almost impossible to catch. But sadly enough, even though dog napping is considered to be a felony, dog nappers are almost impossible to catch. But sadly enough, even though dog napping is a felony, dog nappers are almost impossible to catch. But sadly enough, even though dog napping is considered to be a felony, dog nappers are almost impossible to catch. And when they are caught, the crime is almost impossible to prove. In fact, there has never been a single case of dog napping that's ever come to trial in Fulton County.
It is now 12:30. Bebe and Clarence have finished, and once again that imaginary tether starts tugging.
Steph, we got it, and we're heading in.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you later.
CNG4 clear.
There is no question that what Bebe and Clarence do every day is important, but there is no way any of it gets on the air without the people working in the newsroom. You will see what happens back at the ranch tomorrow. Mark Picard, Action News.